welcome to Cactus Caffeine. My name is Anna. In this channel, I share with you my hobby of growing cactus and other desert plants over a cup of my favorite beverage, coffee. So today is not going to be a very pleasant video because I have here, although it seemed like it's a very pretty astrophytum cactus, it is actually rotting. Okay, so you can see all the black around it, so it is actually rotting. I am not 100% sure that it is rotting, but I am almost definite that it is, because if I feel it, it feels soft and it's actually has a hole already. I can feel a hollow hole in it forming, so I am almost certain that this is having a root rot. Now I'm not sure as to the extent, but it's not looking very good, but we will find out together as I remove it from this pot. Now this browning started about 2 weeks ago when I first noticed it, but I thought it wasn't serious because actually my other astrophytum has that habit of forming the browning at the bottom. As you can see, this is an astrophytum ornatum or ornatum. All around it, as you can see, it has that brown or like dark purple color at the bottom, but this cactus have had that mark for I'd say 2 years now, and it is growing, nothing's wrong with it, and the bottom feels hard. So this is another one. This is an astrophytum myriostigma. It also has that distinct purple or dark brown mark at the bottom, although not all around the cactus, but it does have it, portions of it. But as you can see, nothing's wrong with it. It is plump, it is growing. So I thought that when I found this one on this cactus, I thought it was pretty normal. But then as time went by, I noticed it starting to shrivel up too fast, and today I noticed that it's actually leaning on one side. It's leaning this way. So when I investigated it further, that's how I saw that this one is actually rotting. So let's see how it looks from the root. Okay. Ew. Definitely a rot. So look at that. Let me see if I can smell, if it has a smell. It doesn't have that bad smell yet, but I'm sure if I let this continue for a few more days or weeks, it will definitely have that rotting smell. So I'm afraid this is a complete goner because the rotting, I was actually ready with my knife and my alcohol hoping I could salvage or save this cactus, but I'm afraid the rotting has gone very deep. It's actually almost at the tip of the cactus. So well, for the sake of this video, let's see how far it went. So I'm gonna slice it. Oh yeah, nope. Ew. That's my son. He said ew. Yes. Ew. Okay, so definitely this is a goner. Oh, all the way to the, oops, all the way to the top. So if you haven't seen a cactus suffering from root rot, this is an example of it. All right, but let's see, what can we learn from this? So what did I do wrong? Obviously it is overwatering, but I haven't had this cactus for long. I just got this, what is today's May? I got this early February. I just bought this early February. So I've had this cactus for 3 months, And root rot is almost always because of overwatering, although sometimes it could be due to other factors like fungus entering the cactus. So I am not quite sure what happened to this one, although the roots are very brittle, they're coming off. Yeah, so root rot almost always is caused by overwatering, or sometimes it's fungus that entered your cactus for reasons that we do not know. That is a good cup of coffee. Alright, so how can you tell now if your cactus is actually rotting or not? So let me go back to this example of my astrophytum. So take a look at the bottom where it is actually forming that brown mark. So try to feel it. As long as it feels hard and the browning does not spread quickly, I think your cactus will be fine. And also look at the overall health of your cactus. As long as it's not shriveling too fast or wrinkling too fast, and if it is growing, then that is a good sign that your cactus is actually doing okay. Brown marks can also be a sign that something is wrong with your cactus or your plant. So in this case, this is a euphorbia, this is not a cactus. So the brown spots there, those are actually cold weather damage. So the first year that I've had this euphorbia, I wasn't sure how hardy it is in the winter. I left it in my backyard during the winter, and as soon as those brown marks appeared, I knew that probably it was getting too cold. So what I did is I moved this inside my greenhouse, and the browning stopped. And when it produced all these offsets, as you can see, the offsets are clear. It did not have any mark on it. So that is a cold weather damage. So if you see some brown spots forming on your cactus or on your plant, it is just telling you that something is wrong in its environment. So sometimes, like in this, it got too cold. Sometimes if you live in a humid environment, it's too humid and there's no proper air circulation, those brown spots can also appear. So as soon as you see them, try changing something on your plant. Maybe you can move it in another place, or try improving air circulation using a fan. So that is a sign. It's just telling you that, hey, I am not happy, so do something about it, but it is not due to root rot. This is another example of browning at the bottom, which you might mistake for rotting. Actually, this cactus is not rotting. Now, the reason that there is a yellowish mark or brownish mark at the bottom is because this is an offset that I took off from Mother Echinopsis plant. So this pop was actually growing underneath the soil up to this level. So whatever was underneath the soil, it has that discoloration. So now that I moved it into this spot, whatever was underneath the soil is discolored, and that is something that is permanent. It is not rotting, it is actually growing. So you might mistake this for a rot, but it is not. It is just the discoloration of the cactus body because it was underneath the soil and it was not receiving any sunlight at all. So before I proceed further, I would just like to take this opportunity to welcome all my new subscribers. Thank you so much. Welcome. And I thank you all for your likes and your comments on my videos. Keep them coming. If you are not subscribed yet and you like cactus, go ahead and click that subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you get notified whenever I post new videos. Moving on, this is another classic example. If you can see, this is a Parodius copa. If you can see the bottom, it's brown and the top part is green. Now this is one of my oldest cactus. This is one of the first cactus that I've had in my collection. This is probably 5 years old. So this at the bottom is actually corking. So corking happens when your cactus is very old. So it is the hardening of the bottom. So it is actually starting to form like a woody texture at the bottom. And that is one way of cactus surviving as it grows taller, the bottom needs to be more stable to support the cactus body. So what happens, it forms a corking at the bottom. It's actually hard like a bark. So this is not cactus rotting at the bottom. This is just natural when your cactus is getting older. Another classic example. So this one, there is actually a browning at the bottom, but it has callus now, so it is hard. This one is caused by cactus split. If you look closely, you can see that line there. So that is the original part where the cactus had a split. So cactus splitting happens when you water your cactus and the cactus suddenly absorbs more water than the body can hold. So what happens is it splits. Okay, so it forms like a crack. So usually this is not something to worry about. So right now this is already callus, so it is hard. It is a permanent mark though, so this is not a root rot from a cactus. This is caused by a cactus splitting. The last example that I want to show to you is my Astrophytum asterias. I don't seem to be having a good luck with Astrophytum. I don't know why, but this is caused by sunburn. So I did not notice that in my garden with the season change, the sun, you know how it shines differently or in another direction in your garden. Anyway, this portion got hit with the sun, hence it caused that browning, and that is sunburn. And yet sometimes those browning marks appear at the bottom for reasons that I do not know why. So if any of you guys can give me an explanation on why this happens to my Astrophytum, let me know in the comments below, because I really don't know why and I am completely puzzled. All these examples that I have shown you so far are examples of what a root rot is not supposed to look like. So, but if you see sudden marks on your cactus, make sure that you first address the problem. So if you think it's caused by sun damage, make sure you move it to a shadier position. If it's caused by cold weather damage or damp and humid environment, make sure you provide more air circulation to it by maybe using a fan or moving it in a clearer position. Or if you see some browning like this from a cactus split, just try not to water it for a few days and keep your cactus dry. Now, what should you do if you see the sudden spots or browning marks that appear in your cactus? What I do is I spray it with neem oil. So depending on how severe it is, I would spray neem oil every other day or sometimes twice a week until the spreading of the brown marks stops and until it forms a hard callus, like in this case right here. Alright, so that is it for my video today. I started out by showing you an example of what a cactus root rot is, and we ended it up by showing examples of what is not a cactus root rot. Alright, so I hope you like this video, guys, and give me a thumbs up if you do like it. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, bye and cheers.